The Saudi millionaire who died in Syria and came back. What if a simple vacation could lead to a miracle that defies all scientific explanation? What if a promise made in desperation was answered in a way that would shatter your reality? In 2004, a story emerged from the heart of the Middle East so extraordinary it was said to have stunned nations. It's a story about a wealthy Saudi couple, a sacred promise, and a horrifying act of betrayal. But what happened next is what makes this story truly unbelievable. This is a tale of life, death, and a resurrection that challenges everything we know. The story begins with the wealthy Saudi Arabian Muslim man and his wife, who had everything money could buy except for the one thing they desperately wanted: a child. Years of treatments and visits to countless doctors had brought them nothing but heartache. His parents even suggested he take a second wife, as is permissible by local law. But his love for his wife led him to reject the idea. Exhausted and losing hope, they decided to take a vacation to Syria. They hired a limousine and a driver to show them the sights. The driver, also a Muslim, noticed the couple's profound sadness and gently asked what was wrong. The couple confided in their driver, who then told them something unexpected. He spoke of a place of miracles, a Christian monastery called Panagia Saidnea, perched in the mountains north of Damascus. He told them that for centuries, people of all faiths, including Muslims, have visited a sacred icon of the Virgin Mary there, praying for help. He explained a local tradition. Childless couples would visit the monastery and consume the wick from an oil lamp burning before the holy icon, and the Mary of the Christians, as he called her, would grant their wish according to their faith. A spark of hope was ignited. The Saudi man, moved and desperate, made a vow on the spot. He asked the driver to take them immediately, promising that if they were granted a child, he would return to give the driver $20,000 and donate a staggering $80,000 to the monastery. They went, followed the instructions, and returned home to Saudi Arabia. Sometime later, the impossible happened. His wife became pregnant and gave birth to a healthy baby boy. It was the miracle they had prayed for. True to his word, the overjoyed new father immediately made plans to return to Syria to fulfill his promise. He called the same driver and asked to be picked up from the Damascus airport. But greed had poisoned the driver's heart. He and 3 friends devised a wicked plan. They picked up the Saudi man, who, in his blissful state, was completely unaware of the danger. He was so grateful that he even promised to give the driver's friends $10,000 each. However, the promise of more money wasn't enough. They didn't drive towards the monastery. Instead, they took him to a deserted location. There, they robbed him and then committed an unspeakable act. They murdered him, beheaded him, and cut his body into pieces. Blinded by their horrific crime, they put his remains in the trunk of the car, planning to dispose of them elsewhere. As they sped down the national highway, their getaway was abruptly halted. The car's engine stalled, leaving them stranded. When a passerby stopped to help, they nervously waved him away, terrified of their crime being discovered. But as the motorist was about to leave, he noticed something horrifying: blood dripping from the back of the car. He immediately called the police. When the officers arrived, they saw the blood and ordered the criminals to open the trunk. They expected to find a gruesome scene, but what they saw was something that would defy all logic and reason. As the trunk opened, the Saudi Arabian man sat up, completely alive and unharmed. He looked at the stunned officers and said, "Just now this Panagia finished stitching my neck, right here, after first stitching up the rest of my entire body." At the sight of this impossible event, the 3 criminals instantly lost their minds, screaming and raving that the man they had brutally murdered could not be alive. They were arrested and taken to an asylum. The Saudi man was rushed to a hospital. Medical examiners confirmed that his body was covered in stitches that were incredibly recent, validating the miraculous event he described. He recounted how the Panagia, Our Lady, had reassembled his body and resurrected him. The man immediately called his relatives to Syria, Together, they went to the monastery of Panagia Sidnea. Instead of the promised $80,000, he donated $800,000. This incredible story was said to have been broadcast across the Middle East on television, radio, and in newspapers. The man and his entire family, moved by the miracle that saved his life, reportedly converted to Christianity. It's a story that bridges faiths, defies logic, and asks us to believe in the impossible, a story of a promise kept, a life returned, and a faith transformed. What do you think happened on that lonely Syrian highway? Was it a miracle, a divine intervention? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story as incredible as we did, please like this video and subscribe for more amazing stories from around the world.